Hello everyone, in this video we will be talking about mixed fractions and we'll be explaining what that is in just a second. So let's say I have this number line and I have my numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 on that number line. I have cut this piece from 0 all the way to 1 into two pieces. Now if I have, let's say, this piece right here, so the first part of it, I would say that I have 1/2 of it. So it's 1/2. Now what if I have the other piece as well until I get to 1? Well, that's 1/2. And then another half. So that's 2/2. What if I have one more? 2/2 and another half makes 3/2. And then 4/2. And so on and so forth. Here I would have 5/2. And here I would have 6/2. Now, what we have here in the fractions that are basically after the after the point of 1 are some fractions where the numerator, the number on top of the fraction, is greater than the number on the bottom, the denominator. These fractions are improper. They are improper. And that's their definition, basically. They are more than 1, and they are written in such a way that the numerator is greater than the denominator. And I need to rewrite them in the mixed form. How do I do that? Well, let's say I'm at this point, instead of 3/2, I want to write it in its mixed form. How would I do that? I would say, well, I am at 1, and I have 1/2 more. So I would say that I have 1 and 1/2. Here, where the 5/2 point is, I would say that I am 2 and another half. So I would say 2 1/2. The value of these fractions here and here is the same. They are simply written in a different way. They are, however, the same. I would say that 3/2 is equal to 1/2, or 5/2 is equal to 2/2. Now let's say I want to do all of this, but instead of halves, I want to work with thirds. So let's go on this line here, where the line from 0 to 1 is separated into 3 parts. So in this case, I would have 1/3. Here I would have 2/3. Here I would have 3/3. And so on. Now let's say I want this point right here. Well, if you can't here, I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/3. And if I wanted it in its mixed form, because this is its improper form, if I wanted the mixed form, I'd say that this point is at 2 and 1/3. 2 and 1/3. Before we continue, I want you to take notice of one thing. Here at 1, I have 3/3. Let's say I want to count here at 2. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/3. Let's say I also want to write the improper fraction that's at this point, at the 3 point. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 thirds. Notice that at the points on the number line where we find whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, the numerator, the number on top, is equal to the whole number that is found at that point times the denominator. So here, I would say 3, the whole number, times 3, the denominator, makes 9, the numerator. 2 times 3 makes 6. 1 times 3 makes 3. And that is true for all whole numbers. So let's say that I wanted to write the number, let's say this line continued up until, let's say, 7, and I wanted to write 7 as an improper fraction. How would I do that? I would think, well, 7 times the denominator, 3, makes 21, so 21 thirds. So let's say that an exercise tells me, okay, you need to write the fraction here on this number line, which has tenths because of the line from 0 to 1 separated into 10 parts. Let's say it says, write the fraction 13 tenths. Place it on the number line. Well, it's very simple, really. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, sorry, 13. So here, this is 13 tenths. I would just place it here. But let's say it says, place the fraction 2 and 3 tenths on the number line. That might seem a little more confusing, but it's actually pretty easy. Since it has 2, just go to the whole number 2, and then another 3 tenths. So 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths. So here, right here, this is 2 and 3 tenths. Another kind of exercise that might have to do with mixed fractions is one that asks me to turn improper fractions into mixed fractions, or vice versa. So let's say, for example, that I have the improper fraction 20 ninths, and I want to turn it into a mixed fraction. How would I go about that? Well, it's really simple, actually. And here's the trick. I say, how many times does 9 fit into 20? Fits 2. And how much is the remainder? Also 2. That would be the numerator of my new fraction. And the denominator stays the same, so ninths. So, again, 20 over 9, so 20 ninths is equal to 2 and 2 ninths. And you can check this out if you want to. Go on the number line, make a number line from 0 to 3, and separate each part into 9 parts. And find 20 ninths, and then find 2 and 2 ninths, and you'll see that they are the same. Now, let's say I want to do the opposite. Let's say that I have a mixed fraction, like 3 and 1/4, and I want to turn it into an improper fraction for whatever reason. Now that's even simpler. I just say 4, the denominator, times 3, the whole number, makes 12, and plus the numerator, 1, so that's 13 over 4. And that's how I change one to the other. Okay, hope you have a great weekend. See you on Monday.